Update 3 on Tropical Storm Rammasun, Philippine, named Glenda, with winds of 60 miles per hour and a pressure of 985 millibars. Its position is 13.2 degrees north, 130.9 degrees east, as of 2 AM UTC on July the 14th. The storm is now expected to intensify and could become a typhoon before making landfall in the Philippines, probably on the island of Luzon, and then moving towards the west, possibly passing over the Manila area as a strong tropical storm and then redeveloping into a typhoon as it enters the South China Sea. That means there is also a threat for the island of Hainan and mainland China, as well as Hong Kong and Macau, possibly for typhoon conditions to occur in those areas. Of course, the forecast track beyond 3 days is not set in stone, and indeed the storm has to cross the Philippines, so intensity forecasts are not set in stone either. Signal 1 warnings currently in effect for the eastern Visayas region and southern Luzon in the Philippines. That's northern Samar and the southern provinces on Luzon, including the island of Catanduanes. So signal 1 warnings in effect there for winds of 40 to 60 miles per hour probably. Though those signals may indeed rise to signal 2 or 3 as the typhoon draws nearer. The latest satellite imagery, this is the visible imagery over the past 24 hours or so. So yesterday coming into today in the Western Pacific. Of course it is daylight hours over there right now. And the storm's been developing particularly in the past few hours. Sea surface temperatures are still fairly high, around 30 degrees or so, right up until landfall, but that's not going to be the storm's main issue. It's actually going to be wind shear that will probably be the biggest potential problem for the storm. As you can see, there's a high amount of shear just to its southwest, so that could interfere with any further development. So we'll see how that one goes, but of course lower amounts further north. So if the storm does take a little bit of a wobble to the north, conditions will be more favourable for development, so we'll have to watch out for that one. This is the water vapour imagery. You can see the storm on the left hand side there approaching the Philippines. A big burst of intensification in the past few hours. A big flare up there, but a very moist environment around it, except for a little pocket of dry air to its far northwest near the Philippines. So this is what the forecast models say. The CMC first of all takes the storm through the Philippines and then of course striking China and then Vietnam, with another storm forming behind that as well, which could prove a problem for Taiwan. The GFS model has something fairly similar, but takes the storm on a bit of a southerly dive before moving towards the northwest and striking China and dissipating over Vietnam, with another intense storm forming behind that as well. So both of the models say we will have 2 storms out of this, and the second one does look stronger. Latest satellite imagery, you can see how the storm's been moving towards the west and developing over the past few hours on this floater imagery, this visible one first. And here you can see how the storm has perhaps just dwindled slightly over the past few frames. You can see the blue colours and the green colours now indicating more intense conditions, heavier rainfall, intense thunderstorms, and indeed probably stronger winds resulting from that as well. Of course, wind speed 60 miles per hour sustained. We're probably seeing gusts up to 75, which is typhoon strength, and those may increase as the storm approaches the Philippines. Over land at the moment, just the island of Samar really seeing any real effects of the storm, just a few isolated rain bands coming in right now. Looking at the world tropics at the moment, very quiet right now to be quite honest, except for Rammasun of course. No storms active in the eastern Pacific or the Atlantic as of July the 14th at 2 AM UTC. Nothing in the southern hemisphere or the Indian Ocean, and only Rammasun going on in the western Pacific. And it is the 37th storm to have formed so far in 2014. It could become the 15th typhoon, but not yet, or indeed typhoon equivalent storm around the world. And the 8th category 3 storm, we have had 8 so far. It's unlikely that Rammasun will become the 9th with winds of 115 miles per hour plus. And there are 6 ways to contact Force 13 if you wish to do so, or visit any of its outlets, 6 outlets. The website, force13.com, you can see all the latest storm information and warning information on there as well. The video pages, YouTube and Dailymotion, just search Force 13 on those. You're probably watching one of those right now. And of course the social platforms, Facebook and Twitter. Just search Force 13 on those. It's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch or just follow what we're doing or share any of the media that Force 13 13 puts out on there, and of course you can add Fool 13 for personal tropical weather chat on Skype if you so wish. The next update on Rammasun will come up in 12 hours time. That will be 2 PM UTC on Monday, July the 14th. That's all for now.